Hey girl, how's your day going, girl? I recognized it was you because of your picture. I'm waiting till my sister gets here. Me and her were meeting. We never really get together anymore. We're gonna have dinner together, but uh she always runs late. So could be better, but I'm trying to hang in there. It's like, I know, honestly, girl. You know what? I'm so glad that you actually reached out because now when I leave here today, I'm gonna go on to your messages and whatever you call it, watch them because honestly, not watch them, listen to them because it's so crazy how if like someone doesn't blow me up, the messages go all the way to the bottom. It's so hard to maintain it all. Those betrayal videos really are helping. I'm so glad that they did. I uploaded them because I'm making videos for another ministry right now, and those were on there. So I figured, you know what, even though I used them for the last month, I might as well use them for my channel too, because they might help somebody else that's on there that isn't on theirs. So I'm really glad that they helped. I tried to keep them like straight to the point, something simple to be able to get people to understand that when it comes to betrayal, it doesn't mean that we, what's the word for it, can't heal from it. Something that a lot of people don't know is, a lot of people in the Bible were betrayed. Joseph's one of my favorite stories. He was betrayed. And, it was done by somebody, that was so close to him, like his brothers. I mean, that really stung. And all I can say is when you're betrayed, like your Judases, they produce your character. They really do. They produce your character and who you are and who you become. Yeah, vindication, I'm going to tell you right now. Vindication's a tough one because I noticed myself when I was looking for vindication, I felt like it took longer to happen. I noticed when I completely lost the urge to want to see vindication, that was when I started to see it. I know that sounds crazy and weird, but it's something to think about. When it comes to vindication, what I personally recommend is when you get to a point where you're like, you know what, whether I see the vindication or whether I don't, I know God's word to be true. I know He's never going to allow my enemies to prosper over me because what does He say in His word? He will set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So, what does that mean? There will be a table, a banquet surrounding your enemies, and they're going to watch you eat. Okay. So, that's already going to happen. But when we keep waiting for the vindication and we keep like saying, when, God, when, I feel like we don't see it. And I've seen this in my client's life. I've seen this in my own life. You almost have to pretty much say, look, I know it's going to happen when He feels that my heart's in a better place. Because I'm going to tell you what, I wanted to see vindication like you wouldn't believe, man. We talked last week, it sounds right. And I keep telling myself He's not a liar. And He knows even more than I do. Yes, He does. He sees the conversations that you know nothing about. He hears them. Imagine, I always like to refer to God as He's always what do they say? What's that figure of speech? He's the something on the wall. A spider on a wall or something. People use a figure of speech. I can't remember what it is, where they say like a fly on the wall or something like that, or a little bird, whatever you want to call it. He is like He sees it all. He hears it all. He knows all that's going on. Like somebody could be smiling in your face and they could be poisoning you, behind the scenes. Okay. So this was something I dealt with too. I had a lot of people fly on the wall. That's it. Or a little birdie. I had so many friends in my life that were sent from the enemy that were true Judases. They were getting me gifts. They were like saying, "Oh, I love you so much." And we're literally like, they always were around and injecting theirself in my life. And I had no idea that they were the very ones sabotaging me. So God, He's seen all that, man. And let me tell you something. Don't mess with His kids, Don't mess with His children, but at the same time, He loves them too. He loves them too. He sees, what we don't see. He sees them as, the children, as His children that, maybe dealt with certain things that's causing these insecurities, and for them to be responding how they are. He sees all that stuff. It's one of those things where we need the patience, though, to be able to endure to get to that point. We need the patience knowing that He's going to do it in His timing. His timing truly is perfect, guys. I wish that we could be in that place all the time to where we always had the patience. But let's just face it, we're human. We're human. I don't care what anybody says. People will say, like, "Oh, you can't fear, things like that." Jesus Himself feared, man. Are you serious? He sweat blood. So it's just a thought, to keep in the back of your head. We're human at the end of the day. We're going to feel these ways. If you wake up tomorrow, girl, and you still want vindication, listen, that widow was sure persistent. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Taylor. So who's all on? As soon as my sister gets here, I got to go, guys, but I'll answer any questions you guys have while I'm waiting. I'm actually, she's not going to do it because she's not interested, but I'm going to have a date with God tonight. After we have dinner, her and I'm going to see Unsinkable at the movies. It's based off of the Titanic. It's a movie. And anybody that knows me, they know that I'm obsessed with the Titanic. Literally obsessed. Anything to do with the Titanic, I love it. I'm a history type of girl. When it comes to like the Holocaust, all the things. But yeah, I love the Titanic. If anybody's interested, it's playing right now. It's called Unsinkable. It's at most movie theaters. Hey everyone. Hi Megan. Hello Joe. But yeah, I can't wait to see it and it's going to be between me and God. Me and God are going. And literally, I told him that I was going to look pretty for him today. All the things. This is what I'm saying, guys. You got to prioritize dating your spouse, and you got to prioritize dating God. So I did my hair for him, even though it doesn't look all perfect and everything. Hey, Travis. I just was talking to you. Yeah, I told everybody I have a couple minutes to spare. I'm waiting for my sister, who's always late. Me and her are going to have dinner tonight. I never get done early on a Tuesday. And me and her are going to have dinner, and then I'm going to see Unsinkable with God tonight. I'm obsessed with the Titanic. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know that a lot of my videos last year, I kept referencing the Titanic because I'll get in these cycles, guys, and don't be surprised if I start doing it again. But I get in these cycles where I will like binge the Titanic stuff. Like this might unlock me into like wanting to binge watch a bunch of videos on the Titanic again. Like what they had for dinner and what the temperature was the night of the sinking. I get into it. I know it did. It sank, but you know what? It's so, what's the word for it? Good to me. I just love the Titanic. I love everything about it. I want to go to that museum. It's in Tennessee. And my friend who lives in Tennessee, and if she's on, Me and her were going to go, but then it ended up turning out to where like something went on where we couldn't go. But I want to go to the museum in Tennessee so bad. And then if anybody has a science center where they live, we have one. They had this awesome thing, and I couldn't go because I had to work a couple weeks ago, where you got to like have tickets like for the being on the Titanic and stuff, and they walked you through this cool thing like of making it feel like you were an actual passenger. Literally, I don't know why. I know I get crazy. I got a question. My anniversary is coming up next month. Should I get my wife a card just to acknowledge our anniversary or no? I personally wouldn't. Take that back to God, Joe. I personally wouldn't. You have to understand God calls us to separation. You can send a text, but I don't feel like I would send a card. That's just personally me. Hello, Tico. Oh, my sister, man. She's always like, there's a homeless person right next to me, guys. Poor thing. I told God to send me somebody that he wants me to help. Like if, um, whatever you call it, they need help, and she's right there. God's so faithful. God is so faithful. Oh, my sister. Oh, she gets to me. Lord Jesus, help me. She knows I want to see the movie. And these are my options, guys. I have an option to see it at 6:10, which is literally in 14 minutes. But there's previews. So that might be like an extra 20 minutes. But I just don't feel like that's probable. Like it doesn't look like it's going to work out. And she's taking her good old time. So there's only one other option. I have to see it at 9. And I like to be in bed, early. But what am I going to do? I'm telling you guys. Oh, Jesus, Jesus. See, we all will have residue from time to time. Keep my family in prayer. My Nana is about to pass away. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tico. Trust me, I completely can relate. My Nani passed away January of 2022. And let me just tell you, I still grieve her so badly. I still miss her so much. I still think about her daily. I cook in honor of her. Like something my coach and I are trying to work out in me still is come up with healthy coping mechanisms on how to be able to handle the loss of them. And one thing I can tell you, Tika, is to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. So I know, it's tough because it's easier said than done. But whatever God allows to happen here with your Nana, I'm going to be praying. But whatever He allows, just know that He has a reason. I did all the things like putting hands on my Nani and doing all the things you can do to have somebody be healed. And the answer was no. And I thought that that was something that I was doing wrong, but it wasn't. It honestly was just His will. And we have to be okay with that. Well, guys, she's just pulling in now. She says, if everybody could please like the live, I so much appreciate it. And I'm going to try to do this more often on the fly like this. This way I can actually do more lives if I do it like this. But I will talk to you guys soon. Love you guys. Have a good night. Like that live.